When I initially looked at this story, I thought it might have been like a failed relationship or something like that. But regardless of what it is, like I hate when people hurt, murder, and abuse children. And when you take your anger out on people, this man caused the death of a couple different people. We're going to get into the details. Look at that beautiful face right there. This beautiful little baby just could have been anything, could have grown up to become anything. And it's like we will never know. And these are the angels that I would hope that we can start giving a voice to, start protecting them, get our laws to be much stronger and much more harsh against people like this. Let me give you guys the fair usage and then we'll go from there. Or the disclaimer, excuse me. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And we're using Law and Crime. So Law and Crime, if y'all are listening, thank you very much for this article. A Massachusetts mother and her 4-month-old son were killed in what authorities are calling a senseless and heinous drive-by shooting, which is some coward stuff. I'm going to watch my language today. We're going to be good today. So this coward did a drive-by on a mother and a baby, and I think somebody else as well. Just a big, huge coward. He did a drive-by shooting in Connecticut earlier this month, leading to a manhunt by police and U.S. Marshals. And he was arrested, and they arrested the suspect in Puerto Rico because he ran. He tried to leave, and he left, but they caught him in Puerto Rico. Lance Bennett, B-E-N-U-E-T. It's a very interesting way to spell that. Morales, who's 23 years old, is accused of murdering 20-year-old Josiah Mercado, which is the young lady that you guys see right here. That was the one in the blue dress. That's the mother. Just look at how she's looking at her baby. Like, you just got to give people a chance, man. And she just did not get a chance, you know. So that just really, really sucks. 23 years old, and her 20-month-old son by the name of Josiah Mercado. Let me see. Oh, excuse me. 20-year-old Josiah Mercado is actually the mother, and her son's name is Messiah. When they were driving in Hartford, Connecticut on November the 19th, so I read that slightly wrong, according to U.S. Marshal Service. Morales, who was the thug, that guy, also allegedly shot another person who actually survived, prompting charges of murder, first-degree assault, criminal possession of a firearm, criminal attempt to commit first-degree assault, and murder with special circumstances. So that is a slew of charges. He fled to Puerto Rico sometime between November the 19th and Saturday. Okay? With police calling on him to surrender at a press conference on Wednesday, November the 20th. Let's keep going. They said, Lance, you have no other option but to hand yourself to the Hartford Police Department for the horrific crimes you have done, Hartford Interim Police Chief Kenny Howell said in a presser according to local Fox affiliate WFXT. You see, this hit the heart of Hartford. You've taken the lives of an infant and its mother. We do not tolerate this in our city. Now, according to police, Mercado and Morales, nicknamed Macho, so his nickname is Macho. How about that? How about that? What's up, Tina? How are you? Macho were acquaintances who had gotten into a personal dispute over a vehicle. I would really love to know what the real details are. They got into a personal dispute over a vehicle. Morales allegedly followed Mercado that day in his car and pulled up alongside of her while she was driving in Connecticut's capital city with 2 other individuals. He fired multiple gunshots at the group, with Mercado and her son being struck as they sat in the back seat, according to police. Since the commission of this senseless and heinous act of violence, investigators from Hartford Police Department and the U.S. Marshal Service Violent Fugitive Task Force That's a tongue twister. In Connecticut and Puerto Rico have tirelessly worked around the clock to bring the suspect to justice, said acting U.S. Marshal for the District of Connecticut Lawrence Bobnick said in a statement. This arrest is a testament to the close collaboration. Sorry, they got a lot of words in here, y'all, for real. I'm trying my best to read it fluidly. I ain't that good, so laugh at me if you need to. I get it, but I'm trying my best. Just a lot of words. This arrest is a testament to the close collaboration between the U.S. Marshal Service and our valued law enforcement partners, and it demonstrates the reach these partners bring to the pursuit of justice. Y'all know I read articles all the time, and I still get caught up sometimes, so it is what it is. Now, Morales was caught in the town of Fajardo, Puerto Rico, on Saturday and was awaiting extradition to Connecticut. His bond is reportedly set at $3 million. A GoFundMe was launched for the Mercado family. Let me see if I can get that up on the screen for you guys so y'all can see the actual GoFundMe. I found it. Here we go. Let me get this on the screen for you. So they're asking for $6,000. So far, they have raised just under $4,000. I think they're a little bit above that now. But that GoFundMe has been launched by Mercado's family and describe her as a beloved daughter, mother, niece, sister, and friend whose life, along with the life of her son, was tragically cut short due to gun violence, which we like to call thug violence, right? The gun didn't do anything. This fool did. If you had the pleasure of knowing her, well, actually, we'll skip that. It's in the GoFundMe. You guys can actually go read that. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and then we'll show the couple of news videos that we have. And I got a press conference, so here we go. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys would, do me a favor and please click that thumbs up if you're watching this video. If you can hear the sound of my voice, please share in the memory of this mother and her child that lost their life for we don't even have a reason, which I think makes it even more. I just think it makes it worse. We don't even know why. But here we go. I'll play some of this.
I want to first offer my condolences to the family of Josiah and Messiah, a mother who lost her life yesterday along with her 4-month-old child. You know, each one of these officers back here have been in law enforcement for a long time, and there are some events, some cases, some incidents that follow you throughout your life. And I can tell you now, this will be one of those incidents. This is a sad day for us in the city of Hartford. This team here has worked hard to find out what happened and to identify a suspect. The people you see behind me. Within the last 24 hours, they have sifted through evidence. They have gone through video. They have taken witness statements.
Now, y'all are asking about the backstory. I honestly don't know if they were dating or not. They said they were acquaintances and they got into an argument over a car. Like that really doesn't tell us anything. And look, let me just say this. I know that they have to preserve some information, but good Lord, man. You know, when you have these situations, it's like we're trying to get answers. We're trying to learn something. Potentially, this could save somebody else's life if we had the correct information. For them just always withholding. I get maybe there's a point to it, but I just don't like it. So we really don't even know. Maybe they weren't even dating. They just are acquaintances arguing over a car, and she had to die over it. Why can't we get a specific answer about why?
They have done so much. Why? Because they're professionals. But this also hit deep. I'm sure you all can understand that. This has hit the citizens of Hartford, the mothers and fathers, the grandparents. It has hit us all. So where are we at? Because of this team, we have secured a search warrant, arrest warrant, that is, for an individual that I'm going to ask the public to help us locate. I'm going to say this. Do not approach this individual. He is to be contact 911 if you see this individual. Lieutenant Boisvert will give you the particulars on what he may be driving and some other particulars. But the individual's name is Lance Morales, born 6/16/2001. This individual is 23 years old. He is wanted for multiple charges with a $3 million bond. I want to say this. So his AKA also is Macho. That's his AKA. So I want to talk to...
I hope y'all can hear this video pretty clear. I can hear it clear on my end, but I worked quite a bit of time. It took me like an hour just to fix this audio, but this is by far, I think, the best audio, and it's boosted up, so y'all should be able to hear it pretty good. If y'all listen, also, please hit that thumbs up if you would, please. But if y'all can hear the audio, let me know.
Lance, right now. Lance, you have no other option but to hand yourself in to the Hartford Police Department for the horrific crimes that you have done. You see, this hit the heart of Hartford. You have taken the lives of an infant and his mother. We do not tolerate that in this city. After this press conference, Lance, I want you to pick up the phone and hand yourself into this department. Because if you do not, I promise you, and I make good on my promises, that you will be apprehended, and I will use all resources to apprehend you. State, federal, and all the partners that I have. You have that promise from me. With that said, I'm going to turn it over to Lieutenant Boisvert, who will give you the particulars of the vehicle that he's driving and the access to many other vehicles that he has. This incident was a personal dispute that ended up in Hartford and resulted in the death of 2 individuals. We will not tolerate that. We just won't. So this is Lieutenant Boisvert.
Thank you, Chief. Just to recap for everybody, last night at 2:47 p.m., afternoon rather, Hartford police officers dispatched to Hartford Hospital on a report of multiple victims being arrived in a vehicle suffering from gunshot wounds. 20-year-old Josiah Mercado and her 4-month-old son Messiah pronounced deceased shortly after at the hospital. The third victim was a male in his 20s suffering from non-life-threatening gunshot wound. The fourth individual in the vehicle, a driver, was uninjured. Patrol officers were able to locate and secure a scene in the area of 380 New Britain Avenue, which consisted of multiple shell casings. Video evidence that confirmed the victim's car was at the crime scene prior to arrival at the hospital. While reviewing the recovered video, it was observed that the suspect vehicle pulled alongside the victim's vehicle and opened fire. The suspect vehicle then fled the scene. The driver of the victim's vehicle drove to Hartford Hospital. Detectives from Major Crimes Division and Crime Scene Division responded and began an immediate investigation. As the night went on, detectives were able to develop the suspect. Detectives worked quickly, were able to gather enough information to develop probable cause for an arrest warrant. That warrant was signed this morning by a judge. This is our suspect. Okay, I'm going to send everyone a copy of this in your email. Lance Morales, date of birth June 16th, 2001, 23 years old. Last known address in Waterbury, Connecticut. Goes by the name of Macho as well. In the warrant, he is charged with criminal possession of a firearm, assault first, criminal attempt to commit assault first, 2 counts of murder, and murder with special circumstances. As the chief mentioned, he has a judge-set bond of $3 million. He was last seen driving a white Infiniti Q70 bearing Massachusetts marker plate 3NEB35. We do believe that's a misused marker.
Okay, so we don't need that part because they've already caught him. So we have somebody in the chat who says, Vanessa says, they're saying that he sold cars and they had a problem with the car that she was in. That really don't even give us much clarity, because if you think about it, why did he need to kill them? Shoot them? If you pulled out a gun, you wanted them to die. Why did they needed to die? Whether they wrote a bad check, whether they stole the car, whether they... I don't know what the hell happened. Why did that mother and baby need to die? And then you also shot a third person. Like, they'd have to make that make sense, like Tommy says. Just doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, this morning, an accused killer is in police custody after being tracked down to Puerto Rico.
Yeah, once he's back in Connecticut, he'll face a number of charges after allegedly shooting and killing a mom and her 4-month-old son in Hartford.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler live from the Hartford Police Department with more on how the city's mayor is reacting this morning. Olivia.
Well, Caitlin and Tracy, we know that Lance Morales is being extradited from Puerto Rico back to Connecticut after he was found by U.S. Marshals at a home in Puerto Rico. Now, the mayor of Hartford says this all goes to show if you do a horrible act of violence, you will be found. People across Hartford continue to mourn the lives of 20-year-old Josiah Mercado and her 4-month-old son, Messiah Diaz. Tomorrow, a week after the two were killed in a car on New Britain Avenue, a vigil will be held to remember the lives tragically lost. After the horrible act of violence, officials in the states wasted no time to track down the accused killer. Hartford police tell us that the U.S. Marshals in Connecticut and Massachusetts developed information that Morales fled to Puerto Rico. The U.S. Marshal Puerto Rico Violent Fugitive Task Force quickly found and arrested Morales in a home in Puerto Rico. He's now facing charges including criminal possession of a firearm, first-degree assault, criminal attempt to commit first-degree assault, and 2 counts of murder, among other charges. He soon will be extradited back to Connecticut. The mayor of Hartford says despite this horrible incident, the city is a safe place to live.
We're on track still, even after these horrible murders this week, to have the lowest murder rate and the lowest rate of shootings that we have on record in the city of Hartford. But it's not the kind of city where if you come in, you might be the victim of a random bullet. That we're seeing a lot less of that.
Once again, a vigil for the 2 victims will be held on Tuesday at 6 p.m. on New Britain Avenue, and we will update you as soon as we know exactly when Morales is going to be back here in Connecticut. We're live in Hartford. Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
This morning, an accused killer is finally in police custody and facing a number of charges after being tracked down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we've been telling you about this for the last week. Police on the search for a...
Yes, it was a drive-by shooting, Childhood Uncovered. Yes, it was a drive-by shooting. But my whole thing is, if it was over a dispute over a car, what was the nature of that? Did they steal it? Like I say, it still doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, thank you. That's what I'm saying. It still doesn't make any sense. Like, you wanted these people to die, and my question is, why did he want them to die?
Man, after he allegedly shot and killed a young mom and her baby in Hartford last Tuesday.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler live from Hartford PD, where detectives have been working on this. So what are the next steps in this case?
Well, Caitlin and Tracy, Lance Morales is being extradited from Puerto Rico back here to Connecticut. It comes after U.S. Marshals located him in Puerto Rico at a house. Now, we're told from the mayor that this proves to be that if you do a horrible act in the city, you are going to be found. People across Hartford continue to mourn the lives of 20-year-old Josiah Micardo and her 4-month-old son, Messiah Diaz. Tomorrow, a week after the two were killed in a car on New Britain Avenue, a vigil will be held there to remember the lives tragically lost. After the horrible act of violence, officials in the state wasted no time to track down the accused killer. Hartford police tell us that U.S. Marshals in Connecticut and Massachusetts developed information that Morales fled to Puerto Rico. The U.S. Marshal Puerto Rico Violent Fugitive Task Force quickly found and arrested Morales in a home in Puerto Rico. He's now facing charges including criminal possession of a firearm, first-degree assault, criminal attempt to commit first-degree assault, and 2 counts of murder, among other charges. He soon will be extradited back to Connecticut. The mayor of Hartford says U.S. Marshals and police work shows no matter what, people will be held accountable.
In 4 days, they found this guy who committed a murder potentially here in the city of Hartford and then fled to Puerto Rico. In 4 days, they found him, tracked him down, and arrested him. I think it sends a strong message. If you're going to commit a heinous act here in our city, we're going to find you no matter where you go.
Now, the mayor says despite this horrible act of violence, right now there is a lower rate of shootings in comparison to years past. In Hartford, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
So at the end of the day, look, if we can get more of a definitive explanation, I would definitely like to dive into this more and find out what's really going on. But that's literally all the information we have. And it's just really sad to see a young mother and a beautiful, beautiful baby. That little baby could have grown up to become anything. But instead, he's taken 2 lives. Now his life is over, and I think he knows that, which is why he ran to Puerto Rico, because he's a coward. Cowards do drive-bys. Cowards pull out guns. Cowards pull out guns and shoot people who are unarmed. So it's just really, really ridiculous. And that type of thing, and I wish we would stop saying gun violence. It's not gun violence. It's the people with the guns that are committing the violence. So you got to start pointing the finger back at the people who are doing the violence. Like, I really hate that political statement, which tries to separate the difference between the people and the tools that they have. When you got to start putting the onus back on the people who are doing the harm and doing the wrong. To the mother, RIP, to the little baby. Look at this. Just a mother with so much promise. I just don't know what could have made him want to do something like that. But my favorite picture of that baby was, see if I can get it up here. This one. This had me really emotionally choked up earlier when I saw this picture. Beautiful little baby. R.I.P. Thank you guys so much for listening to this story. If you have more information, feel free to email me, theafcmatters@gmail.com. But we'll go from there. And if we find out anything else, we'll do an update on this, okay? Thank you. Let's go ahead and move to our next story. Said illegals doing the violence. See, I don't know if he's illegal or not. They didn't mention anything like that. But it makes you wonder, though. Definitely makes you wonder. If y'all would do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. We want to have 1 thumb up for everybody watching until we can get our crowd back over here. I know we're missing a lot of people, and it's okay. I hope that we'll eventually get there. I don't know if we are shadow banned. Like, it makes me want to think about terms like shadow banning. Are we being shadow banned? I don't know. Maybe we're just not in the algorithm right now. I really don't know. But nonetheless, you guys can help me out with that quite a bit. For those who want to contribute, this is Thanksgiving. If y'all would say happy Thanksgiving, Merry Thanksgiving, a wonderful Thanksgiving to all of you guys. And I hope that if y'all are cooking, if you're listening, kicking back, hope you guys are loving your family. If he's Puerto Rican, he's not illegal. So there you go. Because I was thinking he must be from there if he like left and ran back there, I guess. And that's where they caught him in. But I was thinking the same thing, bro. So we're on story number 2 out of 7. 2 out of 7. This is Martinelli's Gold Medal 100% apple juice. It's really good stuff. It's a little bit expensive, but it's good stuff. Jackie RN said, I'm new, but I'm staying. Thank you so much. How many of you guys are cooking right now or have already cooked or will be cooking here any moment now? Because I still got to cook when we get done. I got to make one little dish. It's not a little dish, but I got to make it. because I'm really good at what I make, and I know my family's going to like it if I make it. So, yeah, I got to get in here and get the cooking, too. So, let's hand Georgia an L. All right, y'all ready? Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Thanksgiving, Feliz Navidad, and all of that good stuff. Much, much love to all of you guys. Let's talk about this. I went back in my channel and I looked to see, because I remember this face, and I thought I talked about this story, but I got to tell you guys, I don't think I did, because I could not find the single video unless it's been taken down. But nonetheless, I remember this story. And this is a story of a mother who caused the death of her children by placing them in an oven and turning the oven on, which means that what they suffered was immense pain, and it's immeasurable, and it is flat out heinous and disgusting. But before we get into too many details, I got to give you a disclaimer, then we'll get into the details. Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, news web articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer. And we're getting this from Law and Crime, because you know we get a lot of stories from Law and Crime, so if you listen, thank you very much. Let me also say thank you real quick to, I'm going to just say the first name, Joyce. It says, protect your babies at all costs. So if you're listening to the sound of my voice, I want to say thank you very much. We just got a Cash App, so much love. Anybody else, if you guys donate, I will make sure and shout them out. So I'll just read the first name, so that way people don't know who you are or anything like that. So much love. Hopefully Kamala ain't around no bathtubs. Look, we're not making greens over here. We are making cabbage. And no, I don't put my cabbage in the bathtub. Like, I don't know. That woman is just, Kamala is just disgusting. Like, you put your greens where you put your butt cheeks? Yeah, not doing that. And yeah, I'm not voting for that. Anyway, so let's get off of politics for y'all. Get mad at me. Y'all ain't even hit the thumbs up yet, but we'll get off of that. All right? A Georgia mother of three who killed her two little boys by placing them in an oven and turning it on, she will spend the rest of her life behind bars, a judge in Atlanta ruled on Friday. So I don't know how many of you guys have actually heard this story. Let me give you the picture so you can at least see who I'm talking about. And I want to show y'all her face. And I'm going to tell y'all, that's the father. He was heartbroken. I got to show y'all the video that he posted also. I felt so bad for that man. So here's the thing. This mother killed these kids. These kids have a father, a willing, available father, and you killed them, and you can't justify and talk about, well, her mental illness, y'all, because you know they tried to do that bull crap, right? Tried to justify mental illness. Deal with your mental illness and give that man his kids. See how that works? But no, you refuse to do that. So what excuse can you make for a person who has options, refuses the options, and say, I'm going to input the suffering on these children intentionally with malice and hate in your heart? How the freak can we feel bad for that broad? That man is right there. We ask, where's the biological father? Where's the biological father? He was right there. And this woman, boy, she looks slower than global warming. I got to tell you, if it was any colder outside, if you put a bottle of molasses outside in the snow, she looks slower than that. I mean, good Lord. Like, her courtroom pictures were just disturbing. Like, look at her face. Just, I don't know, man. I just think you got to see that type of stuff before you start making babies with these chicks. Maybe she just got progressively worse over time. Who knows? But let's go more into the details. Lamora Williams, that's her name, 24 years old, and she was convicted on a myriad of charges, including 2 counts of murder for the 2017 deaths of her son. So this would have been right around when I started YouTube, so maybe I didn't actually do this story. The 2017 deaths of her son, Jakarta Penn, 1 year old, and Keontae Penn, 2 years old, who were killed roughly an hour apart. The since condemned woman called 911 that awful day. I forgot about this. And hello, Ash and Emmy, how are you? Do you guys want to hear the 911 call? Because that was new to me. I didn't know that they had that recording, and I found it. Yes, she is Satan's spawn. Absolutely. Yes, she's slower than global warming. Do y'all want to hear the 911 call? I need y'all to take a vote on that, because if you want to hear it, you could just hear and just know that she knew what she was doing. She was conscious and aware of what she was doing, which I think they got the sentence correct. She tried to pin this murder on another black woman. Where's Black Lives Matter when you need them? Where are my Black Lives Matter advocates at? I have not seen Black Lives Matter over here in my chat in a really long time. Maybe half of our subscribers are Black Lives Matter people, because I ain't seen them over here in a minute. If Black Lives Matter, why didn't her black babies' lives matter when they had a father in their life? Number one, that you could have gave up custody to instead of murdering them. Right? These children could have grown up to become, you raise good boys, you get good men. I'll say that again. You raise good boys, you get good men. If you want to change the world, you have to change the babies. You have to take care of the babies, and all babies' lives matter. This is what I like to call hashtag babies for benefits, right? Do you think she loved her kids? Hell no, she didn't. She only pops them out of her vagina just because it functions as a conception device. It only functions as a conception device, and therefore that makes her no better than an animal. And she just cock her legs up in the air, and just anybody that wants to slide some semen in her, then she'll accept it. For real, I just think that you just had to be desperate for a hole in a heartbeat in order to sleep with this woman. But they did produce beautiful babies, so I can't go too hard in the paint. Babies for benefits. She didn't love these kids. Maybe she was about to lose her benefits. Maybe she was about to lose her mind. But there was no reason to kill these kids. If Black lives really matter, I want y'all to also think about this. If they matter, which I believe that they do, she shouldn't have ovaries. Thank you. If Black lives matter, and I believe that they do, then why is it that she had the nerve to pick her own cousin, and you'll hear it in the 911 call, and lied on her cousin and said her cousin was the one that killed her kids, which could have caused that black woman to lose her reputation, lose her job, get lawyers, lose her money, lose her life savings, lose her reputation, ruin a whole nother black life that didn't have nothing to do with this. But again, we're talking about, is it the white man that I should fear? Or is it people that look just like me who are doing all of the killing here? She said, and I quote, "When I came in, the stove was laying on my son, on my youngest son's head, and my other son was laid out on the floor with his brains laid out on the floor." Williams told the dispatcher. This is what she told the police. "I don't know what to do. I just came home from work." That's what she said. That's the bullcrap she said. Hello, Von Shay. How are you? Good to see you. In February of 2018, Williams was indicted on 4 counts of felony murder, 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of aggravated assault, 2 counts of concealing the death of another, and 1 count of making a false statement, which is where she lied on that other person. And I think that should be a charge too. And I'd love to see that charge more in people's record and reflect that in the courts when they are charged. And that should at least get you at least 2 years for putting somebody else's name in something that they didn't have nothing to do with. Okay? She was later charged with 2 counts of cruelty to children in the first degree, 1 count of cruelty to children in the second degree, 1 additional count of aggravated assault, 1 count of obstruction of a law enforcement officer, and 1 count of battery resulting in substantial physical harm. The defendant told police she left all 3 of her children with a caregiver, which was, I think she said it was her cousin, from noon until 11:30 p.m. So that's almost the entire freaking day. 12 hours. Well, 11 and a half hours. That day, and return home to find 2 had died while the caregiver was gone. Can you please help me? She asked the dispatcher. Like, can you tell me please? Or can you please tell me, like, I don't want to get locked up because this is not my fault. I just came home from work. So again, she's worried about her own self and not her kids. Sometime between midnight on October the 12th, 2017 and 11 p.m. the next day, Williams knowingly and unintentionally killed the toddlers by placing them in an oven and turning it on. The autopsy records report the boys' heads were stuck in a tipped over oven. The medical examiner disagreed with police claims that the children had been burned. These thermal changes appear to be entirely from dry heat and changes from prolonged heat exposure, the medical examiner report in both autopsies. It will require an extensive amount of time to get to this degree. Williams maintained her innocence. Prosecutors stuck by the police department's version of events and contradicted the defendant's narrative in jurors' minds, according to the courtroom report. The boy's father also called 911 at roughly the same time. Williams was hesitant to give the dispatcher her address on Howell Place in the Oakland City West End neighborhood. I just received a call from my child's mother that two of my 2 dead babies, my son, are dead in an apartment, Jamil Penn told the dispatcher. That's the biological father that y'all saw holding the babies. You said, play the 911 call. I got you. I'll do it. I will do it. I will do it. She video called me and I saw it. I really think they are dead. The distraught father described the video call in comments to Atlanta ABC affiliate WSB TV. It was like a real horror movie, he said. It was like Friday the 13th. On Friday, Williams was convicted of 14 counts against her. She was quickly sentenced to a term of life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 35 years. Still ain't gonna bring these kids back, but I do think they got the charges correct. Let me give you guys the fair usage, and we'll go from there. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys are watching this story right now, do me a favor and please hit that thumbs up and share this video. That's really all we can do. Until we can start to get more eyes on these stories, we need you to share them in your favorite true crime groups. Till then, here we go. Let's get it. Hold on. I didn't. That's the wrong video. Hold on. Let me fix it real quick. Y'all give me a second. Moderators, can y'all let me know how many people we got watching right now? Oh, I'm going to play the 911 call first. How about that? I'll do that. I'll play the 911 call first. Let's do it like that. Here we go.
Atlanta.
We are on story number 2 out of 7. Here we go. This is the 911 call first.
Atlanta 911, operator 7054. What's the address in your name? Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question, and this is a serious matter. I just left my cousin in the house with my kids. She just left my kids in the house when I came back from work, and my kids, 2 of my kids are dead. What do I gotta do? They dead. She left them dead in the house by themselves.
Oh, okay, ma'am. Where are you now?
I'm in my house. She left my door open. My baby boy, my oldest baby boy, is the only one that's here, only one that's alive. She left them in the house by themselves. She left them in here, and they knocked the stove on. Can you listen? When I came in, the stove was laying on my youngest son's head, and my other son was laid out on the floor with his brains laid out on the floor. I don't know what to do. I just came home to work from this. And she just left my baby dead.
Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna get EMS and I'm gonna get police and fire at the location. Can you tell me where you're located?
Y'all hear how she lied on her family member, right? I hope y'all can hear that. Lied on her, an innocent person.
Ma'am, I can't even talk. This is so serious. I'm so scared. I don't want to get locked up because I was at work.
Okay, ma'am.
I
understand that you're scared. I completely understand, but I need to get some help out there to you now. Can you tell me where you're located?
I understand it, but can you please help me? Like, can you please tell me, like, I don't want to get locked up because this is not my fault. I had just came home from work. Came home from work.
Yes, ma'am.
I just came home from work.
Okay. Ma'am, the first thing that I need to do is get some help out there to you. I understand that you're upset and you're scared.
They've been here dead. Like, it's no way in the fuck. She left my baby dead.
Okay.
And I don't have no way to reach her.
If you're not sure, if you were at work, ma'am, listen to me. If you were at work while this happened, then the responsibility is going to fall on your sister. If that's who you left them with. Okay?
She's trying to yeah, you said she don't even sound upset. She's trying to dime out her sister who didn't have nothing to do with this. That is disgusting. You could have ruined this woman's life by involving her in your bad choices. We got a little bit more. Let's keep listening. I'm going to back it up just a hair. Here we go.
If you were at work while this happened, then the responsibility is going to fall on your sister if that's who you left them with. Okay? Okay, hold on one moment because I'm going to also get EMS on the line as well, okay?
Yes,
Hold
please.
on one moment. Yes, ma'am. Stay on the line with me, though. Hold on one moment for me.
Okay.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
When I just came home from work, my babies was stuck in the stove dead, and I just came home from work. My cousin was babysitting my kids and left my kids dead in my house. Ain't no telling how long they've been in this house.
All right, wait. So is your son, is he obviously dead? Is he breathing at all? Can you tell me
he's dead. He's burnt. Both of my children are dead. Their head is burnt. Their skull is laying on this floor. The stove is, one of my babies is stuck. The stove is pulled over and everything.
All right, Elena, can we get PD started to this location? I'm operator 839.
Yes, we have PD and fire already en route to that location.
All right, thank you so much.
Please hurry up, please.
All right, ma'am. I'm en route, okay? We're en route.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right.
All right, folks, tonight we're digging into newly released DFACS reports as an Atlanta mom faces murder charges in the deaths of her 1- and 2-year-old sons. Now, the documents offering new insight into the heartbreaking case from the perspective of the brother who survived, with some of the details too graphic to share on television. But our viewers have repeatedly asked for answers in this case to bring these little boys the justice they deserve. So we asked Ron Jones to take a closer look at the case.
According to the 73-page document obtained by 11 Alive News, no child should have witnessed what police say 3-year-old Jamil Penn Jr. did. In the report, the investigating social worker says when she began questioning Jamil Jr., he, quote, was smiling and made eye contact and says he was feeling good. When asked what he saw that horrible night through the eyes of a 3-year-old child, he stated, Jakarta and Tayman, or Kayante, died. Jamil Jr. was referring to his 1 and 2-year-old deceased brothers. When the DFACS investigator asked, "What happened?" the little boy said, "They go on the stove themselves." He also stated he watched as they got on the stove. However, police paint a different picture, accusing their mother, Lamora Williams, of actually placing her babies inside the oven and turning the oven on. When the DFACS investigator asked the child if he and his baby brothers were left alone, the report states he looked around and did not answer, but then asked, can he go with his daddy? Also in the investigation, the boy's father, Jamil Penn Sr., gave a statement describing his strained relationship with their mom leading up to the boy's death. He told investigators they broke up about 4 months ago and they were not on good terms. And until the night of the alleged murders, he said, he haven't seen his children in 3.5 weeks, claiming Williams would not let him have contact with their kids. The DFACS investigator also writes Jamil Penn Sr. appeared to take some of the blame, saying he was in the area earlier in the day and thought about going to pick up the boys, but had decided against it.
This story is so tragic.
Because I'm assuming that she was probably acting a damn fool. And it's just like, who wants to be with a person with a horrible attitude? And, you know, it's just the nature of what I see a lot of women do. It's not all, but too many times that when women have these babies out of wedlock, they think that they control these men. And if they can't control these men, then they're like, you know what, we're just not going to let you see the kid. You don't want to be with me. You don't want to deal with my bull crap, then I'm not going to let you see your kids. And then she probably realized that this man loves his kids more than he loves her. So I think that the way that she wanted to get back at him was to kill his kids. And regardless, we're not going to say allegedly, because that's what she did. She's now in prison plus 35 years for life.
Touching so many folks. Ron, so there were reports. We had a reporter out there, and that reporter spoke to the family. The family said, hey, we knew there were problems. We reported it to DFACS. What did you find out and what you researched today?
Well, you know, according to DFACS, they said that there was no history at all regarding the welfare of those little boys and never had any warning at all that the mom had any mental health problems as well. They said the only report that they have is this report that I have in my hand right here, and that was the day those babies died.
Tragic, and I know the viewers just want to know how this could happen. That's what we're trying to give them.
And we're going to stay on top of it, Vinny.
All right, thanks so much, Ron. I appreciate it.
A community is in mourning after a shocking crime against children. A Georgia mother is charged with 2 counts of murder after police say she put her 2 young sons in the oven and turned it on. The bodies of 1-year-old Jakarta Penn and 2-year-old Kayunti Penn were found in their apartment over the weekend. Police say they had burns on their bodies and arrested their mother, 24-year-old Lamora Williams. Her family members say she had mental health problems and would often leave the children alone in the apartment. The children's father set up a GoFundMe account saying he wants to prevent other children from being hurt. For InsideEdition.com, I'm Mara Montalbano.
So again, with that look on her face, she just has this empty look. Like, I just don't think that she had a lot of brains at all. But nonetheless, man, it's just really sad that this father lost his 2 kids like that. She couldn't just walk away. She couldn't just leave it well enough alone, give his kids over to her, or give her kids over to him, and let him be a dad since she didn't want to be a mother. But not only will she not be allowed to be a mother again, she won't be in our society anymore, but cost these babies their life for absolutely no reason. So to those boys, to those young princes, R.I.P. They deserved every opportunity to grow up and become something great. If y'all have comments or thoughts about this, or any input, and guess I did hear sister, I heard cousin. I don't know who else she was trying to blame, but she was trying to pin the blame on anybody and everybody for what she did. So I think they got this right in this story. So to the father, our condolences to you, sir. Okay. But thank y'all for listening. Leave a comment in the comment section on the story. Thank you.